What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and today we are here to talk about Wonder Egg Priority Episode 2. Now, like everyone else, I went into this series blind. I didn't know what to expect. Now, I damn sure wasn't expecting it to be the mind trip that it is, but here we are. In fact, so much so that it made me actually want to make videos on this instead. So, back arrow, much love to you, but I couldn't pass up on covering a psych series like this either. Wonder Egg Priority caught everyone by surprise, and we're possibly looking at the dark horse of the season with this one. I mean, I left episode 1 with the same feeling I had watching like Bocarano or Madoka Magica, and you know, that says a lot. And one thing that we can see about this series so far is that there's way more to this world than what it seems. Like this beetle stuffed mannequin thing who is, you know, withholding the price of what could happen, or even if it can happen as far as your wishes coming true. Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't trust it one bit, especially when you ask a question and they straight up tell you no comment. And I just have to take my hat off to Cloverworks. I mean, they have went in with a certain type of feel that I think they were going for with this series. I mean, the look, the feel, just the haunting chimes of the music that just makes you feel like something isn't right. That's what I love about it, because you never know what direction you're going to get hit with the feels or the scariness or whatever they're trying to accomplish with this series. Like even the opening, it starts off all nice and pleasant and happy, but this series has some dark undertones. I mean, super dark undertones. If you just saw the opening, you'd be like, wait a minute, this isn't what I signed up for. But since we're just jumping in on episode 2, you know, I'm just going to kind of just get to the point. I really wanted to do an episode 1 video, but I couldn't, so here we are. But anyway, in addition to our main character named Ai, this week we're introduced to a girl named Neru who is also buying eggs from this machine. And at first, she's not initially interested in being friends with Ai. In fact, she just flat out ignores her and avoids her every way as she can. Even though what we've seen in the last episode, Ai is still kind of happy-go-lucky. You know, she's fascinated with this world, and the darkness that's wrapped inside of it just kind of seems oblivious to us, or at least to her. That's what it seems at first. While Ai is there, you know, to bring back her friend who lost her life, more likely by her own means. Neru, on the other hand, she's there to bring back her sister that she feels it was her fault, or she feels some type of guilt for her not being around. I mean, she straight up says, you know, I let her die. While Ai's life is slowly being revealed to show that she is very happy and free in this world. She's very carefree and fearless, but this is a dream world, or at least that's what we think. We don't know what this world is so far, but in her real life, she's deeply sad and bullied, and I feel there's also some hints of maybe mental abuse that's maybe there with her at home too. It's almost like she's two different type of people, and with this world that we see her in, I think she sees it as more of an escape. And even with her encounter with Neru says to Ai, you know, what are you doing here? Are you here to better yourself? I mean, do you hate yourself? Because as we can see, she can be fearless. She can stand up to these creatures like it's nothing. But in her outside life, everything just seems different. It's kind of like a way when you're a gamer. Like when you're a gamer, you can be a beast. I mean, you can lock in, you can play, you can let go of your, worries and inhibitions and just play the game to the best of your ability, because that's a release, or that's like an outlet for you to get rid of the things that stress you out or things that you can't control, and you feel more alive, just sitting there playing that game than when you are at home. And I think this is what we're seeing with Ai as well, as far as her life and how it is being in this strange and weird and still unexplained world that we're with. And I'm starting to piece together that our friend went through something very horrible and unsettling, and I promised to help her get proof on film, and she didn't. Thus, it was so traumatic that she took her own life, and just the subtle way that they're sprinkling this in makes me feel sad and very uneasy about how much more dark this series can get when it's all revealed of what happened with Ai and her friend. I mean, as far as the eggs go, at least, we do know that you don't have to crack the egg. You can just stay there in isolation. We also know, or we're swayed to believe by this entity, that the trauma of a person trapped in an egg needs to be defeated in order to advance or to achieve your goal. And it's given the name Wonder Killer. I think he mentioned that it was given a name Wonder Killer, or a name just so you can have something to associate it with. It almost just seemed like he's trying to push towards that path. And yeah, when you do crack the egg, oh boy. I mean, I inadvertently cracked hers this episode because she was just going to chill for a little bit. And that's when shit hit the fan. I mean, it hit the fan in the most slow burning and haunting way that possible that I've seen in quite a long time. I mean, with the opera music, and now we have a new soul to save, and how it just all came together in a way, just kind of a slow burn, but out of nowhere. Like, again, I haven't seen something like this since Madoka Magica. And our guest this time is a girl by the name of Minami, and Minami isn't as free as the girl that we saw last week. She is just as confused as why she's there, or why these creepy things in this school is even trying to kill her. What we did learn about her is that she's a gymnastic whose life was regulated by everybody around her, her coaches, or a coach in particular, probably her parents, and she was always constantly under pressure, and she was a timid soul. She couldn't even bring herself not to go to practice one day because she was just so worried about what would happen, and just the thought of actually doing it, excited her, and then she got up in the morning and she ended up going anyway. But the fears of the gymnast was her coach. And what's strange is that it almost had the same feel as a girl from last week, or at least had the same form. I'm sorry. With the blotted out face, it almost looked like it was the same character. Like this might actually be some type of central figure. But at the same time, it held the characteristics of an abusive gym teacher who hurt Minami both physically and mentally. I mean, it's just really unsettling. That's a good word for this series. And then it just turns into a freaking monster. Man, this series is so crazy because, now that I know what I'm getting into, it didn't catch me off guard, but just seeing it still just makes your jaw drop a little bit. And I was able to defeat the coach with her, pin keyblade type weapon thing that she has. In fact, she can take things and weaponize it and use it as her liking, but she seems to prefer this pin that we see. And she was able to defeat it with the help of Minami, who after, the coach was defeated, she fades away as well because, the mission is done. She overcame what she had to, and she actually is happy now, and she was speaking with I, and she was like, I wish we could have been friends in real life. So it's weird. I'm really intrigued about what's going on with this series because also while that's going on, it seems like back in the real world, Neru was hospitalized. So did she fail her mission and the injuries carry over if you fail? Because initially you couldn't be hurt by the monsters, or at least in episode 1, unless you were the egg person. And we seen that I at least took damage when she was there, but she was okay when she got out. So it was interesting about Neru and what's going on with her, unless she was already ill or something. I'm so confused, and yet I love it at the same time. And with this being an anime original, we're not going to know. There's nobody out there that can spoil it for us. We're just going to go on this mission together and see what happens. But it seems for now, we are at least forming a team. Neru did accept Ai's friendship as well, and she's going to help her achieve her goals and vice versa. And it looks like there's going to be at least 2 more members that's coming soon to the cast. So my question is, if these people in these eggs are already dead and I is basically cleaning them so they can move on peacefully as a spirit in a sense, why does I have to save them? Is it indeed that to be at peace with herself, like Neru said? Is it she's doing this to get in peace with herself so she doesn't suffer the same fate and maybe, take herself out, which would be really dark? Or does this mysterious voice that's controlling everything, does he actually want more victims? And this is his way of doing it by manipulating people to do his bidding. And this is a twisted feeling, and it just feels like that's the way it's going. I mean, he's guising it in something that I wants, thus she's going out and fulfilling her purpose, and anybody else is going to get roped into it. And I think that's what we're dealing here. But overall, Wonder Egg priority. Yeah, watch it. Tell 2 friends, tell 2 more friends, have them tell 4 friends, and so on. Elevate this series, please. We can't let this series fall to the wayside like so many other things that get labeled a dark horse because it's so good that it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a sleeper. This should be a series that everybody's talking about. I mean, seriously, because I know I can't wait till next week. As a matter of fact, like I said, this made me shift to what I actually want to talk about this season. So, yeah. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and theories. It's going to be fun diving into this one. And I will catch you guys next time. So as always, if you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit that bell so you'll know when I drop the next video, and I'll catch you then. So until next time, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.